what a way to start off the season. You guys coming in from Grubby's channel, you showed up at the right time. Games like this happen all the time here at Heroes Hype.
Yeah.
This is one of the long mainstays of the amateur series. We do this every Wednesday. This is week 1. We've partnered with Tempo Storm this series for the 2nd season. Now, this is Under Siege 2 Dark Territory. If you like the game, though, we'll see some comments in the chat. You can donate $1 to the prize pool. Just got posted now. You'll see this on a 2-minute delay, though. You put in HH Tempo 2. You'll be able to add $1 to the prize pool. These teams put on these incredible games for us every Wednesday night. We just want to try to build up a prize pool and say thanks for giving us this entertainment. So any effort towards that front helps a lot.
Wait, we have 1,500 people in the stream, and we have, isn't it 1,500 of the $1 codes? Something like that? Or 1,000 or something like that?
Right. We're hearing from our good old-fashioned art.
I'm pretty sure we could get, quite a few of those dollars in there if you guys head on over to the link. Donate the $1 for free.
Oh. We've heard from our good old-fashioned art. They just don't make them like that anymore, Colin. Special shout out to Argy. He holds down the production. He's hosting the stream. He's doing the obs work. Allows Kyle and I just show up and live our lives and enjoy talking about these video games. We've heard from him. Next game is going to be Firm Handshake. They'll be squaring off against 7th Empire. Now, I would note, there's a member of 7th Empire named Dreadnought, but it's not HGC caster Wade Pinfold. It's another member of the community. So when you see Dreadnought, it's different. Dreadnought. Putting it out there now.
Not the same guy. Different dudes. Perhaps maybe in one parallel universe they converge to make the same person. Using the Potara earrings, maybe they fuse, but not in this one.
Yeah, at BlizzCon, you wanna fuse? You wanna do the fusion?
I know
dance?
the fusion dance.
You wanna do it?
Do it. Yes. Kaloran.
Oh, you know what? I forgot. Last season we were talking about doing a duet of some sort as a prize thing.
Oh, we should.
You remember that? You remember that?
Okay, before we move on to that, would it be Kaloran or Halala?
It's gotta be Kaloran, man. I don't know, man. That's like, I don't know if it flowed. Yeah, Halala?
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, I don't know about all
but
that.
yo, I will do the duet with you, man. Absolutely.
Right,
we could do it so many different ways. Like I could play guitar and you could sing, or we could like play a background song and we can both sing. Like, oof, it would be hot fire.
Okay, so we'll sort that out. We'll come up with a donation amount that we're hearing from our good old-fashioned Argy, though.
Oh, I hear it.
Forehead Junction, the band, Towers of Doom, the other band. Curious to see where we go. We just saw quite the display on Infernal Shrines. We had a rather interesting Cursed Hollow game to start season 2 off.
I personally hope that we see more of these like explosive team fight comps come out from these teams. The first game we saw, it was the Lost Vikings. We saw Dahaka Illidan, and those are cool because I love the macro play. I'm all about the macro play, but those explosive team fights, man, they're so fun to watch. And like, it's really exciting to see these teams go, head to head, and they play like pretty evenly throughout most of the game. And then you just see, that God Sanct or that God APOC, and then game's over. I love that sort of stuff. And you were saying that's why you love Heroes of the Storm. And I'm pretty sure that's like what you're talking about, right? Like just those gnarly team fights. Yeah. Dude,
like when you see two teams just lay it all on the line, throw down the gauntlets, no reservations. You see your heart. The best example I can think of this is last year's BlizzCon, Fnatic against MVP Black.
Yeah.
That was just the definition of like a skilled machine in MVP Black and just like these scrappy, gutsy contenders in Fnatic just going at it.
Yeah.
That Warhead Junction game, dude, I thought I lost my voice.
Me too. Wasn't that the Jaina Taronda draft?
Oh, asking me to remember too much.
I'm pretty sure that was the Jaina draft. For sure.
I think so.
Yeah, but yeah, I remember that team or that game very, very well. It was absolutely insane. So good.
We're in the lobby though, and look at this. Do you see this portrait synergy?
I do. 7th Empire.
Seventh
Filthy
Empire is going to
Hawks.
start out level 5 already out of the gate because they have the same portraits. Wait,
Not sure
wait,
about Wolf,
wait,
though.
yeah, Wolf is coming in.
We'll have to wait and see.
We'll see. But we are going to Sky Temple, varying up the
Cool.
battleground selection even further.
What do you think about this map? Like, what do you think objectively about this map? What are your thoughts on it?
I think this map is known in the community well enough now to where it's no surprise the second temple is going to be in the bot lane, the first one's going to be in the top and mid. So in that, and the map objective being just like you stand on the temple and the lasers start burning down the objectives. This is the map where you can most learn about how a team wants to play Heroes of the Storm. I think this is a battleground that has the most flexibility on that standpoint. There's so many different styles of compositions. You can run a heavy dive, you can do poke, you can do macro pressure, you can do double, triple global if you really feel that spicy. I just think this is a map where anything can happen. So
Yeah,
I like that.
I dig that. Okay, we see Wolf coming in here, and there we go.
He does
Full
have
portrait synergy. Feels good, man.
Yeah.
I like this map for that reason too. Like the macro on it is, I don't know, it's quite set in stone. Like you have, teams not getting camps obviously for the first shrine. They basically decide whether they're going to contest mid or contest top and how they're going to soak. But usually you want to contest 1 and then 3 soak. That's pretty much what both teams end up doing. But second shrine is where everything really opens up. Like, do you get your easy camp early in between the shrines? Do you get it as soon as the shrine pops up so that you can gain lane control bottom? Do you get your hard camp early? Do you get your hard camp late? Do you keep your global up top the entire time? Like, there's so many different things you can do during the second temple phase. And that's why I like this map. Second temple phase really opens everything up, and then you see like which teams are smarter, which teams understand the game more, which teams use their draft better, or like change their macro play depending on their draft. So I really like the second shrine phase for that reason.
I agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
We're gonna find out how these teams want to approach a map like Sky Temple, though. I do believe Firm Handshake was on the left, if memory serves correctly. They enjoy the luxury of first pick, first ban. They know how to play Diablo. They know how to play Tyrael. We might see those come out to play again. You don't see Diablo on Sky Temple too much, but a Nubarak is good banned and no global pressure.
Now, do we see Uther just instantly picked up? We'll find out. We didn't get to talk about it earlier because your computer died. But Levels, do you remember his Zeratul play from last season?
I do.
Yeah, so, and his Leoric was also dirty. Oh, so there's the Uther instant pickup. But I was wanting to see his the Genji Tyrael instantly. There we go. Okay.
I mean, this is starting to feel like a mirror match. If you're on the side of Firm Handshake, you're like, hey,
I stand.
hey,
those are
we
good.
did that
Was
thing.
it the Vala Ariel? I'm
Uther
scared.
Ariel?
Yeah, Uther Ariel with Vala. Yeah.
Ariel,
Hold my beer.
yeah.
It's time. We're going in, ladies and gentlemen. This is really difficult to deal with. The Tyrael Genji, pretty good pickup because neither of them rely on stuns into the Uther. So Guardian of the Ancient Kings gets a little bit less value that way. But just objectively, the Ariel Vala Uther is so hard to deal with, man, especially with Dahaka off the board. Like, they can't respond with any sort of global pressure. And I'm not sure if 7th Empire plays Abathur. And, this isn't, traditionally speaking, Abathur's greatest map, even though he does work very well here. Are we going to be seeing, like, an Illidan from 7th Empire a little bit later on in this draft to give them that split push? I wonder what they're going to do, because meeting Firm Handshake one-on-one like this is going to be super tough.
Yeah, when you see two strong supports in the form of Uther and Ariel show up, you gotta be a little concerned about your ability to secure takedowns in team fights. You've already committed to Tyrael and Genji, you have Sanctification in your employ. But if you're on the side of 7th Empire, you're wishing it was next week already, because Malthael would be like, hey, level 7, I'd have a great time lowering all this healing output, but without that option on the board, what do you got? Varian at 13?
Yeah. The Arthas was banned off for 7th Empire, which does indicate that they might be looking at the Illidan. It's either that or they just, they don't want basically the unstoppable version of Arthas. But usually when you see Arthas banned like that, it's a bit of an indication that you're looking to pick an Illidan just because Arthas is so strong into him. We'll see what they end up going with. Tyrael solo warrior usually isn't the case for most teams, but again, I'm not sure if Seventh Empire decides to run with that or has decided to run with that in the past or not. We will have to see.
You know, Kyle, if I'm on the side of Seventh Empire, I would just push all the chips in the center of the table and pick up Sonya and Li Ming.
Sonya and Li Ming, eh? There's the Abba Zaba. Okay. He my only friend.
I would just, I would just leap off the top rope, have Li Ming get the burst in, throw down Sanctification, and let the chips fall. I mean, I just, when you're dealing with Crystal Aegis and potentially Divine Shield, and you have Genji, you don't really have, like, you know, single target burst blow them up. So it's going to be very easy for Uther and Ariel to deal with that initial burst as it sits right now. I mean, double Genji stuff, but oh no.
Zeratul, we got it. I wanted it. Zeratul Stitches? Abathur Karazim picked up. I liked the Abathur, but what is this last pick? Is it like a Greymane? Or are they going Greymane Genji? Or are they looking at the Li Ming? Yeah, it absolutely does. But I don't know, man. The Abathur seems like it's gonna be really difficult to work with. Like I did mention earlier that I do think like it's a solid response, but again, it's one of those picks that it's difficult to play if you're a team that hasn't, you know, played with a lot of Abathur before in the past. I'm not making that assumption, but like into something that's super easy to pull off, like Firm Handshake's draft, it might be difficult.
Yeah, I mean, the Li Ming option's still floating out there. Tychus is a sound choice as well. You throw the Q on Zeratul, chase after him. You got some options there. You can melt down the health bar like Stitches. He has no mobility, so he's not going to be doing anything too fancy.
I don't understand why they would go with Tychus over the Greymane though. I typically call Tychus the budget Greymane because he basically, you know, he fills the same purpose, right? You're using him in anti-tank compositions, but you know, because you've got the cursed bullet. But hey, I wanted to give a shout out to Alyeska for the sub, as well as Sir Bojangles. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, that NA lol emote, man, that's gonna be it's a little too meta. It's a little too meta. Yeah. I love it.
Too good.
We're loading into the game now. But yeah, the budget Greymane, when you're dealing with you got me on that. When you're dealing with Uther Ariel in the same composition and all the healing that entails, why not go for 40% of somebody's health bar every 30 seconds? What does Tychus really bring to the table over all that? I guess we're about to find out.
Yeah, I think it could have been. Yeah, you know, both picks are solid here, so we'll see how they end up playing with the Tychus.
Over on the left side, we have the members. Firm Handshake is going to be Vestige playing Stitches. D. Steves is on Ariel. Levels back again on that Zeratul. Made some waves last season. Rogers is on Vala. And Ayo, the support, abandoning No Man on Uther.
And on the right in red is Seventh Empire. We got Dreadnought playing Abathur. Pumpkins Larer on Tychus, Brunio on Tyrael, Gronman on Genji, and Wolf playing the Karazim.
I think it's like Pumpkin Slayer.
Pumpkin Slayer. Yeah, I think you're right. Gronman managing to find out levels on the. We're finding the Zeratul there with the Genji and Abathur. Hook doesn't land, and you know Zeratul getting chunked out to half health. But at the same time, Seventh Empire decide to rotate bottom while everything is basically being stalled out topside, and they managed to take a tower pretty quick here.
I know Genji's happy that Hook didn't land because he had already used his E forward and aggressively. Once he hit that Cyber Juliet over the wall, it was like, oh, I'm out of options. But no Hook, no takedown. Early siege pressure being established right on the front door. Seventh Empire, middle fort wall, seen better days down the bottom. However, though, you see them responding in kind, helping themselves with a couple towers down there.
It's pretty unfortunate, actually, for Seventh Empire getting that mid wall taken down so heavily pretty early, because that, you know, as Abathur, you want to be able to position up mid and be safe so that you can mine topside and bottomside rotations. But, you know, Firm Handshake, that heads-up play, taking out both those towers. Now the minion wave's going to crash in, take down that gate as well pretty quickly. A little bit of a skirmish going on the bottom. Tychus onto the Necromongers, but no kills picked up, just a lot of damage traded out.
Yeah, I mean, that does inspire a consideration, like, do you use your well now? If you already have it, do you hark back? But didn't look to be enough damage to really force Vala to go back to base. So they will be able to fight all hands on deck. First set of temples show up, as we all know. Top and middle are always the topics of conversation. Material Stitches hanging out over this middle temple, but there's a few members on the side of Firm Handshake that could rotate in and turn this into a 4v3. Basic math inspires a retreat. Bruno tips his hat, jumps down.
Basic math inspires a retreat. That's probably the best thing I've ever heard in my life. So yeah, middle shrine is going over to Firm Handshake. No soak for them in the bottom lane. So 7th Empire is going to get a little bit more value off this one because they're trading 3-lane soak here because of Abathur. But yeah, this middle wall just completely opened up now, and Firm Handshake pushing in, looking to get some damage on the structures like before it as well.
Now I'm curious to see how Levels gets value out of this Zeratul. In the early game, he's harping back, but he is the quintessential Abathur Slayer. So when we see these instances where Abathur's being forward, trying to soak, I'm wondering if he's going to have the presence of mind to do a little scoping around the map, seeing what he can find. One fork gets taken down in the top lane, middle fork is claimed as well, but a huge experience lead thanks to that body suit.
And Firm Handshake pushing in, stealing the siege camp away from 7th Empire, and I think they're probably going to target theirs as well, and then hard push with this camp. Yeah, we do see Necromongers starting up their camp. This is what I mean, like this map inspires a lot of different play in between the first and second shrine phase, and actually 7th Empire invading enemy bruiser camp, or like the hard camp on the top side. Levels does manage to seek them out, and Wolf getting chunked out super badly there, and Vestige acting with that last hit, and Stitch is staying on the point, holding the cap.
He's gonna get taken down, but for principle, I thought they might have made more of a commitment. I don't know if Necromongers didn't mean to step forward like that. Pumpkin Slayer with the no-look takedown. He thought he was out of there. It turns out not so much. I mean, once Vest is committed to hanging out there like that, I was like, wow, they're really trying to they're making a stand here. Stitches went down though. Bruiser camp was picked up. 1 for 1 apiece. Not too bad.
It also pulled Firm Handshake off of their siege camp, and like we were talking about earlier, man, Levels on that Zeratul, he lands that last singularity and gets that second kill. So good job on Firm Handshake for immediately pulling everybody off and or pulling everybody back and getting those kills on the top side.
Yeah, I know he's like, Wolf was like, wait, where'd my health bar go? Because I was just confused. I mean, that burst damage is something to be concerned about. You're on the right side of the map. 7th Empire, they send Grindman down, finding 3 members in a siege camp looking to apply pressure on an already damaged bottom fort. And one thing to consider, the bottom well is here for both of these teams. So they're going to have that sustain for the all-important second temple.
And Firm Handshake wants to try to deny that from 7th Empire. They have their siege camp pushed up. Stitch's hook does just miss, and they want to push this in as best as they can. And there you are. There you have it. Levels manages to pick off that Abathur, and that is so huge for this second temple phase. It's Firm Handshake now with that incredible 4-man pushing into the bottom side. Like, they have no reason to leave here, actually. Putting Stitches down there. The Detainment Strike goes out onto Tychus, but no kill. Grauman jumping on the backside of this fight with no Abathur hat just yet. Might come in pretty quickly, but both these teams is trading out some damage.
Yeah, and the members of Firm Handshake, they don't need to push too far in. Meanwhile, this shots, the hook goes in. Pumpkin Slayer gets yanked back out of position. Is the poison damage going to be enough? Wolf jumps in, gets the heal, says not so much. This bottom fort has seen better days. Follow-up temple shots. It's going to be the bottom fort game.
Oh no, there's a... Okay, Levels landed the W onto Genji and waited for the jump and didn't quite W in time to secure the 1 auto attack for Vorpal. So tiny misplay from the Zeratul, not getting the kill onto Genji, but that was a really cool interaction. It was basically them just saying like, yo, are you gonna jump? Because I've got Seeker. Jump didn't come out quite right away, so we didn't see it, but yeah, that was actually a really sweet fight.
I like the opportunity seized within a small window of time. You get to take down on the Abathur. There's a psychological impact on the Abathur player because he's like, hey man, I can't venture too far out here. Last time I went to try to get a little XP on the side, didn't go that well for me. That level experience that 7th Empire used to enjoy. You look at the top of the screen. When you're down a full level, you got
Firm Handshake says fine. We see that we see our level advantage, and we're just taking a keep. The the Void goes out onto Tychus. There's the Rain of Vengeance as well, and just all of the damage from Firm Handshake coming off of that rain, and they secured their kill onto Tychus.
I heard the Sarah McLachlan music play the moment that Void person landed, and then the Rain of Vengeance came down and locked Tychus in there. You don't have Divine Palm, you're gonna end up waiting to respawn sooner rather than later. Taking full advantage of their heroics. Firm Handshake got the boss in that whole progression as well. They're doing all right.
Firm Handshake, they also don't have their Zeratul nor Void, so they need to be backing off of this wall. Brunio's, basically just sorting in, saying, hey guys, get away. 7th Empire could have looked to hard engage a fight there with the Abathur clone, but, Firm Handshake does manage to just walk away.
See Pup and Slayer, Brunio, Wolf, and the gang trying to lead the charge. Now that they have their heroics, they're going to look to respond before level 13 has too many.
And here comes the clone.
There's the clone. We're going to see Dreadnought step forward. Not to be wave controlled, Dreadnought. Brunio started the siege camp. They might just try to divert their attention. Tychus is melting Vistage down.
The double minigun. Insane damage on the Stitches. The clone walking up there manages to get the heroic out of Stitches. Future Bile coming out. The hook does land onto Tychus. Now he's in a lot of trouble. The Odin comes out as well as the Palm, and it is enough to keep him alive. Now the huge damage coming out from 7th Empire. The Aegis does get dropped onto Stitches, but no kills secured for 7th Empire. And both these teams say, like, hey, we're not fighting anymore. We got our disengage.
Both teams played their hand, and surprisingly, the only death was the Abbott clone. I was certain somebody was going to take it down. But we saw the Optimus Prime roll out from Tychus. The Divine Palm lands there in time, stopping the takedown there. Both teams decide to back away after that. Got the next couple of temples showing up. Abathur's hanging out top as the top port gets taken down. Stitches is already on here, getting a lion's share of these temple shots. Leaving that middle one up for debate.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that 7th Empire is just letting Firm Handshake trade like this, the opposite. The trade is actually in favor of 7th Empire right now because of the Abathur. So yeah, we do see Firm Handshake looking to contest this mid, and I like that call. The clone comes out onto Tychus just to say, look guys, like, you're not getting this team fight because you'll lose. So I actually really like that call to pull out the clone here. And 13's available for Firm Handshake, so the last thing 7th Empire wants is this team fight, so.
Yeah, I think they had to show, bare some teeth and force back a little bit of a retreat. And then they're like, wait, now they got level 13. I think we brandished and taunted enough. We can start to back away to get the rest of the shots. Because a more aggressive team, someone really had a mind to do it. Could have seen Firm Handshake look to invade that middle temple, but wasn't to be.
Now, small criticism, and I don't like doing this a lot, but I want to see the Stitches gain some more value. Like, we have Stitches plus Uther and Rain of Vengeance on top. We should be seeing some instant kills here with the hook and stun follow-up. So, Firm Handshake positioning up. Here comes the Bile, and the team fight is unfolding.
Interestingly enough, no 13 tier talent just yet. Gronman jumping in and around on Dragon Blade. 3-person Void Prison stalls out the advance. 7th Empire. Charism erupts. Throws down the Divine Palm. Not going to get enough value for him. Levels on the chase. Low health bar. Brunio Tychus gets taken down. Level Zeratul continues to chase down in the long range attack. It's going to take down Tyro as well. 3 heroes down on the side of 7th Empire.
So,
Firm Handshake looking pretty good.
Yeah, 7th Empire decided to take a fight 13 to 12 in their disadvantage just because of the siege camp. So definitely, a miscall there. That's not what you want to look to be doing. You can just say, hey, you guys want the siege camp? You can take whatever the heck you want. The hook does land. Okay, no stun follow up. Yeah, like, trading a siege camp like that for a full keep, usually not the best idea, so a little unfortunate there for 7th Empire, but they do have the Abathur to try to get themselves back in the game, soak these 3 lanes as best as they can. Maybe they're going to have to look to just wait out 16 and give everything to Firm Handshake until they get that point.
Well, Colin, the plot twist is they didn't even trade the keep for the siege camp. They lost that too. Like, they rolled snake eyes across the board on that.
Yeah, that's true.
General macro strategy decision making says, first question you ask yourself, what happens if we lose this?
Yeah.
And if you're not sure what to do next, just ask yourself, what do we have to lose out of going in down a talent tier over a siege?
Ooh, I also wanted to mention quickly, I would have loved to see a Divine Storm over Shield here for sure. Just because I'm pretty sure this Vala never dies, given the fact that we've got the Uther plus Ariel. And could you imagine the Void Prison plus Storm combination coming out?
Yeah, that'd be a long time if you're pressing the buttons. The Vestige is getting melted down, forces out the early Divine Shield. You see the Tyga's clone lean all the way in without any follow-up from the team, effectively throwing his value out of the window. And with level 16 around the corner, Kala, I do think we'll see Firm Handshake look to advance, but Stitch is getting rocked.
Abathur actually just got killed by the siege camp on the boss side of the map. This is a tragedy. The rest of the 7th Empire pushing in, trying to force this team fight, but I'm not sure if they're going to get anything off of it. Heyo taking almost no damage from the front line here, and Gronman getting jumped onto as well. Everyone from 7th Empire is so low, and now this Vala is just chasing you with the auto attacks. The palm does land, but the chase from Firm Handshake is just too good. The vault forward, Necromonger is actually looking at the other targets there, but the last hit from Slam is enough to secure a kill.
Another gutsy engagement from the members of 7th Empire, paying off for them. I appreciate the gusto. Going in there and you're like, hey, we gotta try to turn things around somehow, but if you try to take a tier disadvantage fight after you just lost your Abathur, there's a low chance of success.
Yeah, that was difficult, man. Like, I'm pretty sure 7th Empire just needed to give up everything and try to 3-soak. But now it's a 17-15 disadvantage, and, you know, it didn't help that Abathur died to the minions there, so they couldn't even get the, the team fight with Abathur. At the same time, Firm Handshake had Zeratul on the top temple the entire time, so 7th Empire could have got a decent fight. Not a good one, but, you know, one that could have maybe swung in their favor, but they needed the Abathur for sure.
Yeah, in a situation like this, if you're on the side of 7th Empire, the name of the game ideally should be pick and choose your battles. You're only going to get so many different opportunities. They could have given up another keep even if it allowed them to get to level 16 and have that full-on team fight on even footing. Because without that, they're going to continue to have this game snowball against them. They're going to continue to fall behind levels. They just have to choose when they want to be aggressive, I feel.
Yep. 100% agreed, because we're going to see a temple show up real quick here, and could you imagine if 7th Empire didn't, just lose a bunch of heroes in a fight and their Abathur? Like, they would be probably 16.5 to 18, which is substantially better than this situation, right? Actually, probably even more. It might be even 17 to 18 because of the Abathur global value. So, if they just waited and were patient, they would have been in a much better position here.
Well, it's all hindsight now. Level 16 is finally picked up for the members of 7th Empire. They are on the aggressive again, going over to get the siege camp. No rotation there for the members of Firm Handshake. And they start the boss. I saw them circle around it, and I was like...
I love it. They have to do this. They absolutely have to start this boss. It's their only way back into the game. And Firm Handshake just probably understand that they're doing this and they're deciding to push top. And they're actually trading the boss for a keep. Not the best thing in the world. They didn't see that, though. They had no information on the enemy team being there. So, this was actually a good decision by 7th Empire to force this, but they are going to lose out more on the back half of the decision. Firm Handshake with the excellent call to trade top. Yeah, so the chase is coming out for Gromman, the clone as well. And now both Genjis are into this fight.
You got the Defiant Shield going out as well. That could have implications later on. Dreadnought, Gremlin on the chase, or Gronman. Heyo is split from the team, but should be able to get out of there. Puppy Slayer's on the charge. And this is the team fight, Kala, I feel 7th Empire has to take and win. So they're heavily committed to this chase. Grenade does miss, though. Brunio's starting to give up the chase. And a successful disengage.
Insane.
Well, I'll trade my bottom for it if I can get your top keep, and we all just walk.
See, 7th Empire needed to start that boss 10-15 seconds earlier when they saw the Vala clearing the wave top. They didn't know that the Vala Ariel were going to push in for the keep, but when they saw her top like that, they just needed to force the boss way sooner and then immediately back. They wouldn't have lost their keep, and then Zeratul would have been forced to stay bottom like he was to clear that boss, and then they would have got their 4v5 top. So just slow decisions from this team right now. The Void also going out to start this team fight alone.
Zach Morris timeout on 3 members of 7th Empire. We see the Sanctification go in. Crystal Age is still available. Gets used now. The stun goes in. Deflect from Genji. On the chase again. Cyber Agility's over the wall to his demise. 2 heroes down inside of 7th Empire. The hook brings back Tychus for the remix, leaving only Brunio and a clone alive. Could be the beginning and the end, but we do have a pause.
Now we got the 3-2-3 pause. Okay, so... yeah, about that decision, like I was saying, if they forced the boss just a little bit earlier and then backed for that team fight top, I think they would have been in a perfect situation. But it's so difficult to make those like snap decisions, right? You need basically teams to be pre-calling those sort of things. Like, yo, as soon as we close in on level 16, we need to force this boss, especially considering how Vala showed top. But yeah, so like I liked the decision. It was just too slow and they ended up paying for it. And that's totally fine, right? Like as long as your team knows that you can make those decisions, then that's basically what's important. The fact that it came out a little bit too slow, you know, kind of irrelevant in the long term of teams because they will get better and better and better at making those decisions quicker. But with 3 dead now, I think Firm Handshake are just going to look to push in and end this game.
Yeah, the slow and steady march towards the core is going to begin. 6 seconds, 5 before Genji shows up. Karazin will be back without Divine Palm. No Odin for Tychus. Core is going down at 60%. I do believe Firm Handshake will advance further into week 1. Heroes type Central Storm Series looking pretty good.
Dude, Firm Handshake showing up. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yeah, I mean it's the firmest of handshakes.
As you said, a backhand, wasn't it at one point?
Yeah, it was the old backhand. Serve them up.
Yeah, it's so good. And they're showing like draft diversity too, which I'm really excited about. You know, they pulled out the Stitches. There's the Zeratul again, which you know, obviously they've played it a bunch in the, or at least he has played it a bunch in the past. So it's gonna be difficult if this team just keeps winning because you're not gonna be able to ban them out, man. Like you're gonna have to deal with one of their big picks. So
yeah. Well, on the other side of it though, Colin, to the members of Seventh Empire, I would say, he who dares wins. What I mean by that is I appreciate some of the gutsier plays and decisions that they made in that game. I just feel they need to choose better times and opportunities to make that happen. The boss call was cheeky. It was very innovative, and I liked that. But like you were saying, Kala, it was a hair too late. Yeah. So by the time they got the boss, they had effectively forfeited their keep for a bottom. Yeah. And then the 2 team fights that they went in at 12 and 13 for the siege camp, I think that was the decision that really threw the game out of whack in a lot of ways.
I absolutely agree.
I don't think they really found a chance to come back from that. So I like the gutsy play. I like the aggressive style, but
it was twofold.
Gotta know when to do it.
That decision was twofold negative, right? Like one, you're contesting a camp when you're down a talent, right? Like you can almost never do that. And 2, you're doing it into a Zeratul in a choke, which means your heroes are going to be clumped and you're gonna get voided and re-engaged on. So it's like both of those decisions in hindsight, like they must have been like, ah, damn it, that was not the right call.
Shucks.
Like, but yeah, gosh diddly dang it.
Fiddlesticks.
Nice, dude. But yeah, you don't make those decisions twice. So that's good. They'll learn from it. What was the other one? Oh yeah, I maybe trading that mid wall because of the Abathur. Abathur felt very vulnerable that whole game. Maybe it was the way he was positioning. Maybe it was the fact that Firm Handshake pushed in and basically took every front wall before like 4 minutes. I think that was probably the biggest reason. But yeah, it felt like the Abathur had a really difficult time securing his win conditions.
I would agree with that. I feel like they might have needed more lockdown on the front line. I get why you want to go Tyrael. Sanctification can change the course of any team fight. Yeah. But I never really saw an instance where, you know, I felt Abathur was getting a ton of value to the point where it's like, I see why you took that hero. Yeah. And I also didn't see an instance where it was like, wow, that clone, super impactful. Like, the clone showed up and then Firm Handshake just kind of looked at each other and they were like, so we just like kill this thing, right? Like it was always just by itself. Just
good point, man. Damage. Okay, so what you just said there, super important, because what we were talking about in the draft beforehand was the fact that Tychus was picked up over Greymane, right? Okay, actually crazy. They were cloning Tychus to kill the Stitches, but Stitches just like turned on bile and ran away. But with Greymane, you cursed bullet and have 2 Borkers jumping on you, like you die pretty damn fast. Like it's scary, you know, 40% of your health instantly gone like that. Sometimes it can even force out the D shield. You know, you jump in with your 2 Greymanes and then you just walk away for half a second. Meanwhile, Genji's diving onto your backline, you know, harassing Vala and Ariel. I think the Greymane would have worked so much better for their comp.
Special shout out to my cat Andy who decided to just sit here.
The boy.
But yeah, again, guys, thanks again to Grubby for the host earlier on.